minute. Didn't know what was going on. I'm like, did I break it?
Yeah, I wonder how it's going to look in the final version.
My hand sits there for, I don't know, a few seconds.
Mm-hmm. That'd be weird.
Yes. Well, new day.
New day.
Not a new topic. New addition to an old topic.
New edition.
I wouldn't say very old. Still talking about time.
Yep. So today I wanted to talk about time that seems slow at the time, but then is fast when you look back on it. First.
Slow, fast?
Slow, fast time.
Slow, fast time.
If you're waiting in line, it can seem like it's taking forever at the time. But then when you look at your day...
Go to the DMV.
Yeah. But then when you look at your day, when you look at it a week later, when you look at it a year later, the amount of time that you spent waiting in line went by really quickly.
Yeah, looking back on
it, it went by really quickly.
But the time, the moment you're in, standing there, it's like, oh heavens.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of times like that, when it seems like at the time it's taking forever, and then when you look back on it, it was just a blink of an eye. Really? Then there's...
Still ticks me off.
Yeah.
I hate the DMV. Hate them.
Oh. Yeah, it was really bad with COVID because we had to wait outside in the sunshine in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, and wait for them to come out and say, you can come in.
Yeah, wait for... Oh. It was not made for people to be waiting out there in the sunshine.
No, it was all black top, hotter than heck.
Yeah, that...
And you just stepped over the poor old ladies that had collapsed. And
They could have. It was awful hot.
It was sad. And I thought about helping, but I was off duty and I needed to.
You did too. Wait in the air-conditioned vehicle.
Well, yeah. It was too hot out there. Too hot.
Somebody else stands in line for you.
Yeah.
And then there's the time that's fast and then slow. Like if you spend a whole day of sightseeing, of going on to the zoo and the aquatic center. What is it? Aquarium. The aquarium. Going to the aquarium.
Center is where people swim in.
Yeah.
I don't do much sightseeing there.
Yeah, I don't see much sightseeing. And you see all the different animals, and you spend all the time with the individual animals, or you go to the ocean and you spend time with family or friends and having a good time and having lots of conversations. Then that time can seem like it goes by really fast at the time. Mm-hmm. But then when you look back on it, it feels like that time went for a really long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of memories within there.
Yeah.
So you remember a lot of it. Where when you're standing in line, waiting, the moment feels so long, but to think back on it was just a glimpse. You don't have much memory of it other than, man, that was kind of miserable and I hate that experience. But that is weird how the memory goes there. Because looking back on the trip, you're like, oh, I remember doing this on the beach and whatever. And that's awkward. I got a little message popping up. I should have shut the internet off for that.
Maybe.
I'm going to say that was your fault.
I don't see how.
Me either.
Your phone.
Yeah,
your phone.
Some of us are pointing fingers already. I see.
The other kind of time, the third kind of time, is time that goes fast at the moment, and then also is fast when you look back on it. And that's time like if you spend all day long, what's it called, binge watching Netflix, then it goes by really fast.
Video games do that too.
Video games can do that.
If you're playing PlayStation or whatever.
You can sit on cable all day long watching just show after show, and it can go by really fast. And then when you look back on it, it also doesn't feel like it went very slow either.
Yeah, you can lose a weekend like that.
Oh yeah.
For that stuff.
Yeah, you could come to Monday and just look back on the whole weekend. It just went by so quickly because...
But yet you watched 37 episodes of whatever. So it's like, there was hours there.
Oh, there were hours.
But boy, did that go by quick.
Yeah, one of the things that it makes me think about is how much... I mean, I kind of wonder if, like we were talking about one of our previous episodes, is that when you're a kid, time goes by slowly, and then as you get older, it seems like time's going by more quickly. But what if time goes by more quickly for our kids because they have more screen time than we did. Or they have more screen time than their grandparents did.
That is something. Yeah, because when we were kids, we didn't have the screen time. I played a lot with friends and that, or my siblings.
Yeah.
But kids today get a lot of screen time. They got
Loads of
tablets,
screen
they
time.
got phones. A lot of them have phones.
And we know the time passes very quickly for us if we're watching television, playing video games.
Or
those kind
looking at TikTok.
Yeah, I was going to say, next thing,
Facebook.
TikTok.
Yeah.
You can just spend a whole bunch of time on TikTok.
Yep.
And just having the whole day disappear. And so...
That'd be sad if their whole childhood's like, gone.
just disappears.
Boy, that was quick. Well, you only had, 8,000 hours of screen time.
Yeah. Yeah, I do worry about that. It's one of those things that makes me kind of reevaluate what kind of limits should be on screen time for kids, because it might make their whole childhood disappear.
Yeah, we don't know, really.
Yeah, one of the things that it makes me think of too is I know that when I think back on my own childhood, it certainly wasn't sitting down and watching a movie with the family that are the moments that I even remember from my childhood. Is I remember the times we went on drives, the times we went to parks, the times we sat at a picnic and those things, and I'd like my kids to have those kind of memories.
Yeah, it's funny, because my mother loved movie nights. But, I don't remember the movie night itself, the watching the movie. What I remember of it is the preparing for it, because we'd go to the movie house to rent movies. Mm-hmm. So we'd go together and we'd talk about the movies and everything. We'd, goof off in the store. I remember that. I remember going and, mother preparing popcorn or whatever. I remember all that, but the actual movie, not so much.
Yeah, not even what movie it was.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was.
I know I have that at the drive-in, as I remember getting everything ready to go to the drive-in. And even 10 years ago, I remember everything getting ready to go to the drive-in and everyone walking around with the kids at the drive-in, but not what movie we watched.
Yeah, what movie?
Not even sitting and watching the movie, just the preparing to go.
Yeah,
I remember the preparing to go.
Yeah, it's weird how that... it's entertaining and it's fun to watch, but yet it kind of robs you of time because you don't even really know what you watched when you look back on it.
Yeah.
It was just time gone.
It was just time disappeared. Yeah, so...
Interesting.
It's one of the things that makes me feel like focusing on trying to get memories into each day. Trying to... Which I love some of the stuff...
time in some ways.
Yeah, and...
So you can't... Like we said before, it's not a commodity you can get back or buy or... But if you could make it more memorable or that moment last longer, that'd be kind of neater.
If you can have something to look back on as
it's late.
This is what I did. This was the moment that I had with somebody I cared about.
Yeah.
If you can have that memory, then it makes the time worth it.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that's really, really neat about the communication that we're going over with the kids.
Oh.
Is we spend a lot more time talking, which I really like.
Which
just talking with the kids, hearing about how
awesome.
Just getting them started talking, and they just will keep telling about everything that they've been thinking about, and it's really good experience. So I'm glad we're doing that.
Yeah, since you guys started that communications course, when I come home from work, boy, the kids want to just talk, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I enjoy listening to them. And
yeah, I think it's less of a check because a lot of our school work is kind of a check. I got that done. I got that done. But then that one, I think it's more of an experience, which I really like.
Yeah, it seems to really. The kids seem to really like it. 'Cause, man, they have the stories afterwards.
Yeah, so it's extra neat. So, what kinds of things is it that you've noticed that makes it so that you can slow time down, so that you can fill a day full of memories to make it so that you can look back on it and that you can feel like there was such a full day? I know that, what's that guy, the baseball player?
There's many.
Oh, well.
Oh, Ed Milet.
Ed Milet. He talked about how he packs his day full of things and that he knows that it makes it so his day goes by really fast. But then when he looks back on it, he knows that there's all these lives he's impacted, all this teaching that he's done, everything that he's
So he's got a lot of memories there.
He's got a whole bunch of memories. So it's like he's just filling his day full of all these things he can remember. It's making his life stretch out, even though during the day it makes it go by really fast. Mm-hmm. So are there different things that you feel like maybe you could do to make it so that your day is maybe going fast, but your life is going slowly, just packed full of memories? And are there kinds of things that you have thoughts about, that you have about screen time for children? Different kinds of things that maybe work really well or don't work really well on maybe, I don't know, having a handle on kids' screen time. I don't know, there might be particular things that are good for screen time or not good for screen time.
I don't know, I'm one kind of on the fence of it, because I think obviously you can have too much. Like I look at our nephew, who he's either on the phone, staring at the phone, and it's always up here, or he's on PlayStation. That's all he wants to do all the time. And if you let him do it, he'll do it for days. Like you won't even really get a sentence out of him. Yeah. And I think it's really sad. But if you start cutting back that screen time, then he goes out and he plays with the other kids,
and he starts doing.
And
he has lots of ideas.
There's tons of stuff to tell you, and he's just full of ideas, and it's cool to see. But like I said, if you don't put any kind of restrictions, he's fine with zoning out for days at a time, and you don't get nothing out of him. Which
it does make for, I don't know, it does make for kind of an escape for a person.
I think it's okay to escape for a while, but
it's not like a fulfilling type escape. Like if you go and you read some fiction, there's a different kind of escape you get to that. Even like reading any kind of reading, you can get an escape to that. But it doesn't feel like you're kind of filled, like because it just feels like the time just went by fast. I don't know that it feels like really a relieving time. Like it doesn't make you feel better at the end of it, does it?
What are you talking about?
Like if you do
games?
If you play games, or if you
games, I think it depends on what you're doing. Like he will play a lot of games just by himself. But when he's with when like we do game battles out in the front room, and we're all talking on headsets together.
Oh yeah, that one's a different kind of experience.
That's a different experience, a whole different idea. And if you're just staring at a phone by yourself alone for 16 hours just watching one video after another, not talking to or interacting with anyone, I think that's again a different thing. So it depends on what type we're talking about.
So we can still have kind of social game playing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you're having a social game playing, that can be more of a...
Games can be very, very social.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think that I would rather him do that than the playing alone for hours upon end.
Yeah.
And, I think that the gameplay, because when we're all playing together out there, I think that is something that obviously the time goes by quick, but it don't seem like you lost time. It feels more like a connection. Yeah. Because everyone's, we're all joking around and whatever. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So it just depends on what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think there's, like with anything in the world, there's things you can do that's, I don't think, the best for you. And screen time's one of those. There's good and bad in it. So it just depends on how it's done. I think we limit more of the bad ones. I'd hate to see, because like we've talked before, my childhood, a lot of it, seemed like a summer was so long.
Yeah.
But it was packed with a lot of different things. I mean, we would just, like any other kid, go outside, just lay in the grass and play with little toys or whatever, and create a whole world there. Yeah. And the summers were just so long. I think it'd be just totally sad for kids today to just miss out on that.
Yeah.
Not that it's helped me much today,
I think it does. I mean,
I got good memories.
Allows you time to dream, time to think about things.
But I wasn't sitting out in the grass alone. I wasn't one of those sad people just playing with an earthworm. I had other people.
Yeah.
They may have been all in my head, but they were there. What are you doing with my another pop-up on the phone? Now the phone's dying.
I didn't do that.
Well, it's 15 minutes. It's about time to go since we're almost out of battery.
Yeah, so
We weren't prepared this time.
if there's any kinds of suggestions that you have about how it is that you've lengthened out your day, put more memories into your days, especially with kids, if there's different fun things that you do with your kids to make it so that you can make memories, or even with your significant other.
Do you think kids today are going to have the same as we have looking back? Do you think that they'll be like, oh, yeah, our childhood summers seemed like forever?
Yeah.
Or are they going to have more of a, poof, that was gone quick?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on it? I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know. I think that they, like just watching my own kids, I think they get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
They play a lot with other kids. They go outside a bunch, especially in summertime. Around here in the winter, it's really cold. They don't tend to go out much. There's not much to do when it's 0 degrees. So they come in here. They do have a lot of screen time, unfortunately, during those times. And so I do wonder, is that time here in Idaho, we got a long winter. So it's 9 months out of the year. Is that time going to be like gone like that? Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So we'll see you next time. Let us know if there's any other things that you'd like to talk with about time too.
And I'll charge my phone.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.